Hello friends, welcome to tutorial and in this video you are learning PHP 8 tutorial. In this video I'm going to show you how to create a very basic insert, update and delete, through which you will have an idea that how you will connect database with PHP, and also how the backend and frontend works together. In the previous video I have shown you how session works and how login and register works, but in further video after this I will also show you how to create a login box. But in this video I will show you how to uh, create, read and update, delete. That means insert, update and delete. This is very important. I'm trying my best to keep it simple so that you will have an idea, you will understand it properly. Once you understand, then you can do a complex insert, update and delete. I have already recorded video insert, update, delete of PHP, which a lot of people have seen. So after this you can check that video also, but I'm trying my best to keep it as simple as possible so that you can understand it. So let's start the practical example. Let's open Sublime Text. I'll name it as PHP htdocs and then PHP tutorial. So I'll save here saying CRUD1.php, because later I will show you part 2 also. CRUD PHP MySQL. Now let's create a very basic form. Okay, form action blank, that means same page, method post, that's it. Now here first name, remember here I'm not paying attention on design. Okay, in later video you will see with design. So input type text, name equals to fname, and then last name, email and password, and then finally button. Last name, here it will be l name, email, here it will be email, then password, here it will be password, and finally button. Here button type submit, and here we will name it as register. Okay, this is very basic without design, because our focus is primarily on the functionality, not on the design for the time. And now let's go here and just write PHP, and then if $_post, here print $r $_post. That means we will check if the data is passing or not. Before that, let me go here, same 8, and then I will start this. I need to start this first. htdocs and this one. Okay, let's go, and then localhost PHP tutorial, this one, and finally CRUD1, this one. So guys, you can see this is our form. Of course it's looking ugly because we don't have design, as I told you. What I'll do, h1 heading, just I'll put registration form. Okay, not class, style, text align, center. Where is this? Alright, so this is the one, right? Registration form, so it's going center. Let's do one thing. Let's keep all these things in one div so that at least it will look better. So style, margin, auto. Okay, now I refresh it and check. There we go. Style, margin, auto, and width, let's put it maybe 70%, then it will work, or 50%, better 50%. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Now we will work on particularly insert section. Okay, but before that, if I write here something 1 2 3 4 5 6 and register, then you can see the data is passing perfectly. Okay, now this data we will enter into the database of MySQL. So what we will do, let's go here and then php my admin, now just check properly, localhost, then php my admin. Okay, refresh it and then php my admin will open. Okay, so for that we need to start MySQL also. Oh, there is some problem. Now it's starting. Okay, so finally it started and refresh it. Right, MySQL started perfectly. Now let's go to database and we will create here CRUD1. Okay, in database section I will provide here CRUD1, and now let's create a table called users, and then how many fields will it will have 5 fields. So the fields will be ID. Remember, any table must have an ID and that will be unique and automatic particularly. So I will just click on this and then automatically you can see this primary and auto increment. That means what? We don't have to insert it, automatically it will getting increasing. I will show you that later. And then we have first name or f name, whatever, f name, and since this is alphanumeric character, that's why we will take varchar and we will take here, I think 50 is sufficient. Okay, L name, once again this will be varchar and 50 of course, and then email, this one also will be varchar, that means variable character and 50 characters. So we are putting here limit, okay, maximum limit, so you can understand that no one's name will be more than 50 character. And password here, password, then of course this will be also varchar and we are putting here 50 characters. Okay, that's it. And now let's save it. So finally it got saved. That means what? We have created the table. So what we will do, the next step will be here to connect our uh, PHP file, PHP this application with MySQL. So what we need to do for connection, we write just here on equal to MySQLi connect, MySQLi connect, and then here localhost and here user. So it will be root. In localhost normally the user is root and password is blank. Okay, and then semicolon here, and now MySQL select DB. That means it will select the database. The first line is this one. This one is for connecting the database, and this one is for selecting the database. So we'll write here dollar $con, that means this connection, this one dollar $con, then comma, and then our database name. So what is database name? Users, right? It's users or registration. Let's check here. Our database name is CRUD1, sorry, CRUD1. Right. So this, now if you want to check if really it's got connected or not, then what we will do, or die, then MySQL, or simply you can write here database database selection error. Okay, in case there is something wrong, then this message will show. Same way you can write here in the first line also, and in this case we will write database connection error. That means there is some problem in connection. So now if we refresh this page and try to open this, then what happens? Call 25 MySQL is selector. There is spelling mistake. Select. It will be select here. Okay, now it's fine. In case if I make any mistake, for example, where it says root, if I forget or write here root D and refresh, then you will have an error. It will say you that access denied for this, and also uh, that means there is some problem, right? So if there is no any error, that means it's successfully connected here. Okay, so successfully it got connected. Now when the connection is successful, now the next step will be here to, normally what we do for connection, we write that code in the top level, not inside this. Okay, so now what we will do, dollar first name equal to dollar underscore post, and then f name. Why we are writing here f name? The reason, this name should be exactly same. Okay, this name should be exactly same. So f name, first name, this can be different, or you can keep it same also. There is no problem at all. So it's better, let's keep same. Now first name, last name, email, password. That's it. We have 4 fields, right? So here we will just change it to l name, and here as well l name, and then email, and here as well email, and finally here password, and then password. Okay, so now we will insert it. So what we will do, dollar ins equal to insert into users. That means what, this is table name, insert into users, and then fields name. So what will be the fields name? You have to check here, these are our fields name. Okay, we don't have to enter this, it will automatically get inserted. So first name, last name, email, password, 4 fields we have. So exactly it should be same, there should be no, it's case sensitive, remember. So first name, and then last name, then email, and and finally the password. Once again I'm repeating here, these names and what is into your database table name same, should be same. Okay, so now it's done. Then here will be values. Okay, and of course there will be double quote here, values, and then inside values it will be single quote, and then first name, this first name, then comma, last name, then email, and finally password. So it will be lname here. So remember, we are taking the value from here. Okay, from here. So first name, last name, and then email. So whatever name you are providing here, exactly you should provide here as well. And here the password. So this will be password. So finally, we are ready to insert. And then MySQL query. Okay, and this one will be here, but before that we need to call like this. So this is important for inserting the data. What happens, we are preparing a template here, and then finally the real execution, the real inserting work is done through this function of PHP. Okay, so now if you want to check if really it got inserted or not, so what you will do, let's go here and let's check this page. Let's check this page here, and we will insert this data, password 12345, register. Let's check if the data got inserted or not. Guys, you can see perfectly the data got inserted here. Now you should get a message if the data got inserted or not. So in that case, what you will do, here we'll write message. You can write like this: if this, that means if successfully inserted, then dollar message equals to data successfully inserted. Else, if there is something wrong, in that case we will get there is problem in starting the data. Okay, now let's try. And yes, finally we have to show this message somewhere here. Just come here, and then h2 or h3. Inside h3 we will put here this message php echo, and then this message. Now let's try here. Okay, so it says undefined variable. That means this is warning. If you want to disable this warning, then error reporting error. That means it will show only error, not warning, because we don't need this warning here. Yes, guys, you can see that's fine. Now let's insert another one. Say Kareem 12345, and yes, it should have been password. So type text password. Okay, in that case it will not display. Now let's insert it, and you can see data successfully inserted. So of course the design is not good at all. Same style sheet we need to here as well, right? Okay, and suppose if there is something wrong in our database, say where it says password, then I mistakenly typed here passwords. Okay, and now if I try to insert here 12345, register, you can see you are getting the error here, long error, right? So insert, it is showing default unknown column password, it's displaying you. Okay, so what we will do, the best is, okay, so now let's remove this. Now refresh, then data will got successfully inserted, successfully inserted. Okay, so guys, you can see it's very easy to insert the data. Since I refreshed, that's why it's inserted 2 times. So now what I will do, let's go to this page here, and now insert CRUD. Better, let's do one thing. Let's create a folder for this, separate folder. Uh, just like session, we will create a separate folder for this. So name it CRUD. Okay, and inside CRUD, inside this CRUD, we will have this file. And now in the same file, what we will do, let's do one thing, just copy it and let's create a new file and paste here, and we will name it view.php. That means .php. That means whatever data we have inserted, we will display here. So we will delete everything from here. We don't need all these things from, and just keep it here. And what we will do, let's create a table. No, HTML of course will be there. We don't need to delete the HTML. I will body to body here, right? So table style width 600 px, and then the head th, and then so here will be serial or first name, last name, email, and we don't have to show password. So here will be action. Okay, now here t body, inside this tr and tr close, then td close. So first here will be last name, email, and then action. Okay, so same way here will be. Now we have to write query in view section. We don't need all these things, so just let delete, and let's write here $cell. This is select query. Okay, select star from table name. What is table name? Users, right? So dollar query equals to MySQL query. What happens actually, this is just a template. That means we are telling to the MySQL that select everything, all the records from users, and here our command is executed through this one. Okay, so dollar con, that means the connection, this one, line number 3, and then finally dollar shell. Okay, now here we have to apply while loop. So PHP start and then while dollar rows dollar rows. So what is this, equal to MySQL fetch array, MySQL fetch array. Finally this curly braces will start here, and here it will get closed. That means what, this tr to tr will be repeating here. Okay, and here once again PHP echo, then dollar rows, then inside this first name, F name, that means our field name, right? It's done. So if you check here, let's do one thing. First name, last name, email, and here will be action. So first name, this will be L name, here will be email, and here we will write later action. That means edit and delete, two things. Now refresh and check the page here. So the page name is view.php. No, but inside CRUD, right? CRUD, inside CRUD view. So guys, there is MySQL fetch array expects when parameter to be. So there is something wrong where line number 28. Line number 28. Okay, so this needs to be passed here, this query. Okay, now refresh and check. Guys, you can see the data is coming, whatever we have inserted. Now we will delete the data. So for that, what we will do, just write here ahref equals to delete.php. We will create a file called delete.php, and here a close. And in this case, edit case, we will create a file called edit.php, a close, and here it will be edit.php. But before that, we need to pass the id. Here will be id equals to what? PHP start echo, and then this id, because unless we pass the id, the MySQL won't know which data to be deleted. So we have to tell MySQL which data needs to be deleted. So this PHP starts here, and let's see, refresh. So it is delete. Oh, email ID is just written here, so it will be ID actually, not email. Okay, same way in edit also we need to pass the ID here. So here we write id equal to this one. If you refresh, then if you put mouse, then you can see here the id changing. Look, 1 2, the data is changing. If I click in any one of these, then it will take me to the delete.php, this with this id. That means we are telling that delete the record which have id number 2. So what we will do, we don't have delete page so far. So what we will do, we just let's create a new file called delete.php, and here we will write $del delete from users, that means table name, delete from users, where id equals to dollar get id. Okay, so how it will work, this id will be fetching from here, this id. Okay, so it will match to the database that okay, this needs to be deleted, and finally it will be deleted. And finally MySQL query, and here $con equal to $del. That means our command will be executed by this. After doing this, header location which page, view.php. After deleting, it will redirect to view.php. If you want to check it, so now let's go back here. So now let's give a try. Let's refresh it and let's try to delete. If I try to delete this first one, then guys, successfully you can delete it. If you want to check from database, then refresh, you can see it has been deleted. Now our next step is to create this edit. Okay, edit normally is just like this page. Okay, so just copy this and paste here and name it as edit.php. Okay, so we need to change one query. This one will be also exactly same. We need to keep one query, because if you check here, if you go and click on edit, then the same form will open, but based on this id the data will be filled. Means whatever there is in database same it will display here filled. Okay, so what we will do, we need to make a query here, dollar $shell select, rather you can take from view page, this one. Why it like this? No. So let's start from users where id equal to dollar underscore get id. So what will happen, based on id it will match to the database and it will return the record. So here will be cell query, then MySQL, that's fine. Now dollar rows row equal to MySQL fetch array. Now you might be wondering when to use while and when to use only this one. If you have more record, means 2 3 4 5, in that case you have to use while loop for displaying this data. For displaying more than one record we need to use while, but for a single record we will not use while, because we need only one data. Okay, that's why one record. So if you want to check here, then print r and check if the data is coming or not. So put here and semicolon. Now refresh this and you will check. So currently we don't do anything. Okay, so we need to put this inside outside of post method. Okay, here. Now let's check it again. So guys, you can see the data is coming successfully. So now let's remove this and let's fill the data one by one. This in this case we will have to write value, then PHP echo, and then row here f name. Okay, same way in all other fields. Here l name, here email, here password. Okay, now if you check, then you can see the data is coming with field 1, the previous one. So now let's do one thing. Let's go here, and actually its name should have been insert. Okay, so let's change the name. Rather than CRUD1, we will name it as insert. Okay, right. So insert mirror vision listener 1 2 3 4 5 register. So guys, after registration you can also send the user to view page. So let's go insert page, and here if data successfully, we'll skip it, no problem. Okay, so let's go to view page, view.php, and then you can see there are two records showing. Now I will click on this, then data is coming this one. If I click on this, then data is filling this one. So now our last step is remaining, and that one is update. And of course the button name we will change here in update section, that means edit section, here to update. Okay, so here everything will be same, just we need to change this query. What we'll have to do, we'll have to write here $upd equals to update users set fname fname equals to $fname, again dollar sorry l, better let's keep it like this, l name equal to $l name. Same way other fields. Finally here should be semicolon, l $l name, and here email, and finally password, right? And finally we need to put here, remember in the last one there will be no comma, okay, before where id equal to, let's do one thing, we will keep here id inside form input type hidden. Okay, input type hidden, name equal to id, and value equal to this id, so that we can take this data while updating, because we need this here, where id equal to, and of course we will be fetching the id here also, id and then id, and same way here will be $id. So what are the fields? First name, last name, then it will be email, email, no, first name, last name, this will be email, and here as well email, and here password and password. Where id, so remember there is comma comma comma, in the last there will be no comma before where, okay, or else it won't get updated. And finally MySQL query, then here will be data successfully updated, or there is something error. So now let's give a try, refresh it, and then where it says Mira, I'll write here Meenakshi. Okay, update, and then there is something wrong, line number 35, let's say MySQL query, and got validate. on cannot be empty. Okay, so some field is somehow going empty. Let's see why it's going empty. Update. So for that, let's put here echo. Before that, you can see what is going empty. Update users, app's name Minakshi, L name Krishna, email the password 120 where ID 4. So what is empty? Just copy this, put it in SQL, and then check here and go. Yeah, it's updating. It's updating from here. So what was the problem? Okay, this one, this UPD will be here. Okay, right. Now let's go here and updated successfully. If you refresh and check, you can see that. Now, once again, I write here Mina, and here Mina S update successfully got updated here. So guys, you can see successfully we have completed our task insert, update and delete. If you want to make it better, so let's do one thing. Normally what happens, this database connection is kept into single file. Okay, this database file is normally kept into a single file. So what we will do, just cut it and then control N, PHP start, paste, and then here save it, db connect.php. So wherever, if you want to include this, then we'll write here include and then db connect.php. That's it. So in all the fields, so all right, we were including all the files. Just need to copy this and delete this, edit file. Here also just you include this one. The benefit is that whenever you change, it will get changed in all the files. You don't suppose you have 1000 page. In every page, if database connection changes, then going into every page you have to change. So the best is change at one place, it will get reflected in every page. And of course it will be changed to delete also here. That means in all the files. So guys, you can see it's very easier. Okay, apart from that, okay, so our this CRUD operation insert, update, delete is finished. And as you can see, this is very example where I didn't use any hi-fi CSS. In later video we will use uh, CSS also, and in the next video we will work on login. We will work on login page. We will use this same registration field, and in the previous video we had worked on session. Okay, but in session we didn't use a database. In this section we will use database for login. We have already created this register, so we will use login through database. So in the next video I will show you that. Stay connected. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.